think it's there we go. Hello, everybody.
Here we are again, and it is the beginning of Holy Week. We just had Palm Sunday, and coming up we'll have Holy Thursday, which celebrates the Last Supper or First Eucharist. Good Friday, when you remember Jesus' death. Holy Saturday, and then Easter Sunday.
So how long this the Holy Week? What's this week? Palm Sunday signify?
Palm Sunday is remembering when Jesus came back into Jerusalem.
When he was crucified.
Yeah, it was just a few days before he was crucified.
Okay. And why do we have palms? That's something I wondered about.
I think the people actually took palms and laid them down in front of his pathway, sort of rolling out the red carpet type stuff.
Okay.
The other thing I want to talk about is why you should not be worried that the world is going to end in 12 years. Because apparently we, as old as we are, have already lived through the end of the world twice.
No, 4 times.
4 times. So the first time was in the 70s. In the 70s, the temperature of the Earth went down a fraction of a degree. And what the politicians said is that there was a consensus between all the scientists that we were headed for an ice age. And by the year 1990 or 2000, we were all going to have to live under domes, and we were going to have to grow all our food in hothouses, and all the scientists of the world agreed. But they said, you let us control every little bit of your life, and you let us raise your taxes, we'll be able to straighten that out. Well,
lucky for us, they figured it out.
Well, time came and went. No,
they saved the world. Well, also was 1999 was going to be the end of the world.
Well, no, in the 1990s, then the temperature of the Earth went up a fraction of a degree. So now we had global warming. And now the politicians said, all the scientists of the world agree, there's a consensus, the world's heating up. And by the year 2010, everybody's going to be underwater. Life as we know it is going to stop. Unless you let us control every bit of your life and we can raise your taxes. But time came and went. Nobody's underwater.
But they raised the taxes.
They raised the taxes.
Good thing, because otherwise we would have all been gone.
So now we have climate change. You notice they don't say it's getting colder, it's getting warmer, because after the temperature went down and then back up, it kind of leveled off. It didn't really warm so much in the last 20 years or so. And if the information I looked up is correct, in the last 2-3 years, the temperature actually went down a little bit. We see a pattern here. Temperature goes up, goes down, goes up, goes down. It kind of corrects itself, and it's been doing that since the beginning of the world. But there's another pattern. Politicians, particularly the Democrats, and I am a Democrat, and I hate to see my party doing this. I'm a registered Democrat, so I hate to see my party doing it, the party that's always supposed to be for the working people. I didn't say I vote Democrat. I said I'm a registered Democrat. They want to keep you afraid. Because if they can keep you afraid, if they can scare you, then they can get you to vote for them. Because I can help out, because give me the taxes and we'll spend it the way I want to, and we'll be able to save the world. And the truth is, the climate is just the climate. It's weather. And I know a lot of people out there are going to say, well, you're a climate change denier. Well, I'm not. The climate changes. That's what it does. That's what it's always done. That's what it's always going to do. Any thoughts about that?
Well, man, you get seasons. That's what we call it, But we're getting back into the things that I remember from, what I mainly did was, like I said, you said you skipped over. 1999 was going to be the end of the world because in the computer world, nobody was going to be able to handle the year 2000 coming. And, So
that's at least 3 times we've lived through the end of the world.
Yeah, it was probably more than that. I mean, the end of the world was going to be World War One. Well, there's some things about the Mayan calendar that it only went so far.
Well, they kind of just ran out of space.
Well, not only that, they had this rock, and they were very accurate in their time constraints. Now, just And
It's
then
a calendar.
then
They came to the end of the rock.
they disappeared. Maybe they built another rock someplace.
This is true.
We don't
This
know.
is true.
But
In any case, you don't have to be worried about climate change. One of the things they're saying is that it's because of CO2. Now, years ago, people talked about carbon monoxide, bad stuff that comes out of the car. We don't want that in the air. Carbon dioxide, which is what they're talking about, is what we breathe out. We breathe in oxygen, breathe out carbon dioxide. Luckily, all of the plants on Earth take in carbon dioxide and give off oxygen.
I think from cars, isn't it carbon monoxide?
Monoxide from cars, the bad stuff. But now all the politicians are talking about carbon dioxide. That's what they want to get rid of. Get rid of the carbon dioxide, you're going to get rid of plant life. Not such a good idea. There's no problem with the carbon dioxide in the air. In fact,
it'd be really bad after we get rid of all the cows and everything like that. We no longer have meat to eat, and we're vegetarians, and then we don't have any plants to eat.
Right, and where are we going to get the oxygen since there won't be any plants to change the carbon dioxide?
Well, you hydrolyze your water, you get your oxygen. That's a great way to create electricity now. See, so you won't need the petroleum fuels and anything like that. But then again, you're not going to have anything to use it on. So, but we're sitting over here in all these things here today, and even where we're living here, is there weather changes? Well, the other night we had tremendous rain and thunder, and then now again we have water, all over the place, and then the winds. And is this climate change? Well, I think it's a seasonal aspect. It felt like we were in Kansas this morning.
It's so windy. In fact, some poor guy down the road, their shed just like disintegrated.
Well,
almost hit our car.
Got blown into the road, actually. So.
But the next time somebody starts talking about climate change, ask them, what climate change are you talking about? The 70s when the temperature went down? The 90s when it went up? Or now when it seems to be going down again? I also ask them, why is climate change bad? If the Earth is getting warmer, that means more farmland. Less people would die of warmer temperatures than colder temperatures. So that's not a big deal.
I don't know about that, but I mean, you just wait a few months. What is it? Almost on average, every 4 months, the climate does change. We get cold weather, warm weather.
You get yearly
seasons.
Yes,
seasons.
Right. And then every 30 to 40 years, it seems like there's a little shift. Temperature goes up a little, temperature goes down a little. And the temperature has always changed, even before so many people on Earth, before the industrial age. So what explains that? These are questions, whenever somebody says climate change, you need to call them out on it. Say, what exactly do you mean? Which climate change? What's happening now that hasn't happened in the eons that the Earth has been here?
Yeah. And now what's next Sunday going to be?
Next Sunday's Easter. Easter Sunday, where we celebrate the resurrection of our Lord.
Then when we go and chase after the bunny, right?
The little Easter bunny is the sign of spring.
Isn't that but I thought that was what Easter was all about, the Easter bunny.
Bunnies.
It's not the bunny?
It's not the bunny.
Easter's not about the bunny?
And then the week after that is Divine Mercy Sunday.
So, I don't get a chocolate Easter bunny in a basket because it's not about the Easter bunny.
We will go to the store after Easter when all the chocolate is half price, and then we can pick up an Easter bunny.
Well, why does everybody have all these Easter bunnies? Why don't they have things for Jesus?
Well, actually, Russell Stover, okay, give a little shout out to a really good chocolate, does have chocolate in the shape of a cross. So, there you go.
But they also have an Easter bunny with a cross.
Not with a cross. They do have Easter bunnies, but then they have a very pretty cross.
Well, what's the Easter egg? What about an Easter egg?
Well, I think the Easter eggs actually got anything springy is kind of associated with Easter, and the chickens would start laying eggs again in the spring when the weather got warm. So that's probably how the Easter eggs got included.
I got a whole nother story about the Easter egg. Well, you can get into the gaming community, actually. They in the gaming for multiplayer games and other games and things like that. Gamers use that term, calling it an Easter egg. It's when you find a hidden thing that's not necessarily publicized about the game, and you discover it.
Okay.
So you discover an Easter egg.
Yeah,
And it's
because-
like a special
we always
event.
our parents always hid eggs for us to find.
Yeah, it's something hidden, and it could be in there only a couple of times. There used to be some of these games. Sometimes you were able to type in codes, and you would end up getting something, even if you did it in the chat lines and things like that. So, so then we're gonna get Easter, and then what happens after Easter?
Well, the season of Easter goes until Pentecost, which is when the Holy Spirit came upon the apostles. But the Divine Mercy Sunday is right after Easter as well.
But now Easter is when Christ is supposed to rise.
Yes. Yes.
What is it? The transcendation or
The Transfiguration.
yeah, transfiguration. That one.
That's not a holy day of obligation. I don't really know the date that happened, even though it's recorded in Scripture.
Well, it happens after Easter.
No, before. Before. No, oh, you're thinking the Ascension, when he goes to heaven.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Ascension. That's after Easter.
Well,
Yes. Yes.
Got to get your facts right.
We have a beautiful statue that.
That's the transfiguration.
No, that's the Ascension. We'll show it to you sometime. But it's Jesus going up to heaven.
Yeah, right. now.
Bodily, no.
It's stored inside a cabinet. We can't easily get
It's
to.
yeah.
And, but well, okay. We just had a short chat. Wanted to do something again, and we're also trying to put up. I'm trying to get into the thing with my wife here of hopefully doing weekly. She's not going to enjoy the destruction of our budget necessarily, because I'm coming up with these recipes for us to make.
Yes, we have several recipes up. Visit us at emptycupful.com.
No, these are going on the Empty Cupful on YouTube.
On YouTube, okay. Check us out there. I have to say, if you look at our last eggplant lasagna.
I didn't put that up yet.
Okay. The last one came out okay. There was one before that, not so much. It wasn't really that great. I think it needed to be cooked a lot longer, sliced a little thinner. It was a disaster.
I have been going through a thing, and I've been, and actually, I guess the next thing I need to go back into making this soup that I had made, and
we'll do the soup again.
it's actually a very good. It's a vegetarian type of a soup.
Makes a ton of soup.
It's
if
supposed
you're
to.
one person, you want
It's supposed to help you with losing weight, which I think it has. But actually, it's a very tasty soup, and
the
it's a
broth
lot.
is delicious.
It's a lot more filling than you might imagine. And I enjoyed it.
Sometimes you just gotta watch the pepper, and the chili powder. But I like the broth itself. It's all vegetables. Very healthy.
You can never have enough pepper. Okay.
Yeah, we did that one time, and I could not even.
The hot pepper is my favorite. I love hot pepper. She doesn't go for it.
It's the Korean hot pepper, and the first time we made the soup, you put in a spoonful. But then the second time, you put in a quarter of a cup.
I think it might have been a half a cup.
All right, so we're gonna go.
Right.
If you haven't been to church for a while, this is a wonderful season to get back to church, to get to confession. Just Google your local church, and you should be able to see their schedule for Holy Week online.
That's
God bless you.
All right. Bye, everybody.